on.
Hey everybody, welcome to Mortal Content Chapter 7, where we have Jerry and Tony from Modern Brews Beats. How are you guys?
Doing well. Doing
well.
How are you doing?
Doing good. Good to hear from you guys. I'm glad you're here. So why don't you, before we start jumping off, why don't you give us a little background on Modern Brews Beats, what you guys do, so that way people and where we can find you for that.
Sure. Modern Brews Beats is a podcast that is out of Texas and Arkansas, respectively, and we are basically at the intersection of all things brewed and all types of beats. So beer and music was where we sort of intersected, but then we really wanted to continue that conversation for things brewed, so it'll include coffee, kombucha, any other discussions around that. And in beats, a lot of people think about hip-hop, but really any music that is moving you, we love to hear about. And it was just kind of an easy way to connect to the brewers that we would talk to and different brewery owners. But again, the conversations just kind of expanded, and it's an opportunity to talk about how beer is something that it's cycle. It's a cycle. It comes around. I know right now we're taking our little dip. Some people are not drinking as much, although I think some people are lying. But they're taking their dip, and it'll always be here. It's been here for millennia. What did I hear on a recent podcast? Beer is 10,000 years older than Jesus, and it will continue to be here. So that's one of those things that I just kind of think about with Modern Brews Beats.
Yeah, and folks, if you haven't checked out their podcast, you really should. It's great. They have lots of great guests, and Tony and Jerry are great on it, so they're super funny. So, yeah. Anyway, do you guys have anything you're sipping on tonight at all? Go ahead, Jerry, if you got something.
Yeah.
So this is from Pedicolis.
Oh.
And this is Great Scott. And every time around this year, this is one of the beers I look forward to, as well as the Ghost of Alfred Brown, which is their brown ale with ghost peppers. But two favorites of mine. I know a lot of people, if they know about Pedicolis in Dallas, they're probably more familiar with Velvet Hammer, which is their Imperial Red Ale, and definitely one of the main. That was the beer that kicked off everything with Pedicolis. But tonight, Great Scott.
Yeah, nice. How about you, Tony? What do you have, if anything?
Yeah, I'm saving this one for Jerry when he comes to visit me at the end of the month of September. Sorry, Jerry, but I can get some more. But it's the holiday blackjack that they made back during the holidays. It's been sitting in the back of my fridge. It's the blackjack pirate ale that Point Remove Brewing Company does, but this isn't a bourbon aged. It's been bourbon aged, bourbon barrel, excuse me, and it's really not that bad. I think it's only like a 6, maybe a 6.5. But
barrel
it's
aged.
old, and yeah, but it has a good bite. It has a good bite to it. I'm drinking it for 2 reasons. One, I'm on your show tonight, Doug, and the night that we're recording this. I needed something. I may go take a shot after this because my Dallas Cowboys are opening up the NFL season tonight.
Oh,
a little nervous. I don't know why I'm nervous, because I'm not expecting anything, but just a stupid fan that I am. Just like, okay, just been on my mind all day. What am I going to see when I turn on the game? So I'm nervous. So I needed something with a bite. So that's why I got this one. So I'll have some more for you, nice and ready to go, Jerry, whenever I see.
I mean, they're playing the Eagles, so we already know it's going to be
Super Bowl champion Eagles. Yeah.
Crazy.
Division rival Eagles too.
Right. So I mean,
kicking off the season with, I'm like, goodness gracious, could we have got like
Jacksonville, my team?
Yeah, somebody. I mean, it was somebody else.
See, we need to have a top 5 for Tony, and the top 5 best beers in the back of his fridge. Because when you listen to Modern Brews Beats, he's like always talking about beers in the back of his fridge. I'm like, going, man, that back of the fridge must be forever.
I've been doing that. I've been doing that for quite a while, and then my wife and I moved to get another. We got a bigger fridge now, and sometimes I'll split. Sometimes they're in the house, sometimes they're in the garage. Then I'm like, oh, there it is. So my parents were in town recently, and my dad found some some craft beer in the back of the fridge, and they were good in cold form. He was like, "Oh God, this is
all right."
Like, where'd you get that from? Oh yeah, it was back there behind the chicken. I knew it.
No, not behind the chicken. Okay.
That made me wonder how old the chicken is.
Back behind the chicken. Dang.
Ooh. Man.
All right. So what I do on this show, Mortal Content's my show to drink whiskey. So since I'm a Scotch guy, as my Scotch for yours things, I'm going to do Cowila. This is Islay Scotch. This is one of the peatier scotches you can snag. This is one of my wife's favorites. It is very peaty, very smoky. It's got that nice super brown. It's almost like bourbon colored, which a lot of scotches are not quite that dark. So cheers to you guys.
Absolutely.
Just the best part of this is like taking a big whiff.
But that may clear you up there, Doug. That may clear you up, man.
Yes. Yeah, for those of you who know, I just was fighting this bug of some sort that wasn't COVID or flu A or flu B. I tested for all those, and so now it's finally, I'm just to a point where sometimes when I talk, I cough, so I may mute myself here and there, but maybe some whiskey will help.
Besides, I'm glad just seeing this because every time you mention a whiskey, I'm like, what is that name? What is that?
Yeah, this is a super simple label too. This is
Nice.
but this one's not. This is not something you find at every liquor store. There's one near me that stocks it, and I just happened to know about it. And I got it one time, and my wife was like, "This is freaking awesome. This was my favorite." And so we have a bottle of that in the house at all times. So glad you guys are here. What we are going to talk about tonight is the best uses of a song in a movie or TV show. So basically what the premise is like, if a song is used in a movie, is it used effectively, like something that really works? It could be to advance the plot. It could be just something that really just nails the moment of the movie or the moment when the movie was made, or just a variety, whatever just works for you for that movie or TV show. So we're going to do it top five. So we're going to start with five. Tony, do you want to kick us off with your fifth best?
Man, I do, and I'm so freaking excited, man. So we talk about on Modern Brews and Beats, a lot of music, and sometimes we'll talk TV shows. I'll throw in some TV shows where I got music from, and two of my songs actually from a TV show that Jerry and I actually talked about on episode 214. That was labeled "Give Me Some Mo," but I'll get to there in a minute. Number five. So I'm heavy on the TV show, guys. I like movies, but I love tell me a good story and give it to me in episodes. I like, that's how I love character development. I can watch movies, but mainly it's older movies. So whenever you brought this topic up to me, Doug, I was like, okay, I'll feel more comfortable with TV shows. So I thank you for letting us talk TV shows. But there's a TV show, and as you listeners may know, HBO Max. I love HBO television shows. Something about them, they score very, very well when it comes to music. And there's a TV show on there called Love Life. There's only 2 seasons. Both seasons were phenomenal. But in season 1, I don't remember exactly the episode, but this was the first time. This is the first time I paid attention to a John Mayer song, and I was like, that fit. It was perfect for the setting of the scene. And that's the song "I Don't Trust Myself" with "Loving You," and John Mayer off his Continuum album, which is one of my favorite albums. So when I first heard this song years ago from this episode, I went down a John Mayer rabbit hole, and Continuum is one of my favorite albums. I Don't Trust Myself, I actually heard it originally from a Mike Posner song that he did a remix to it back in like maybe 2009, 2010-ish. And I didn't know that was original a John Mayer song, because I never listened to John Mayer. I love this song. I love that show. And every time I hear that song, I go back to that scene. It is so damn mellow. It's perfect. That's my number 5. 5. That was great.
$5 foot longs. Sorry.
I wish they were still $5.
Those shits are like $8 now.
That was my college dinner, man. That saved me on a lot of hunger nights, man.
It sure did. So that was sort of. So can you describe what the scene was? How that song worked with the scene?
Yeah,
so, like I'd never heard of that show, but I'm curious why that really was so apt for that scene.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the storytelling aspect of the TV show Love Life. Season 1 is about and I don't know, I forgot the character's names because it's been a while, but it's about a female. Season 2 is about a male. They do have some interaction because they actually know each other, but they don't date. They're talking about their own separate love lives. And the scene is when she's in her head going back to one of her dating past when she went to some type of like boarding school, and this guy that she met, and they were alone, and he cut on some music, and she said, what kind of music do you listen to? And he cut this song on. He says, I'm really into this mellow shit. And I'm like, damn, that's it. And it was just perfect. It was just them two, a dimly lit room, and all you hear is John just doing this thing. And then I was like, man, oh my God, like that's a mood right there. And every time I hear that song, it brings me to a mellow mood in itself. So that was the scene. And like I said, man, I'm a big fan of that show, and that took me. I was like, man, that fit. It fit well.
Awesome. So the thing is, like, I'm not familiar with that show. I was curious, like, why that fit. So I'm glad. Thank you for explaining it. That was cool.
Absolutely, yeah. And if you don't have HBO Max, they actually Love Life season 1 and season 2 came out on Netflix recently. So
okay.
Check it out on there.
Sweet. Good to know. Jerry, how about you? What's your number 5, sir?
So this one's going to be a little interesting because it's not a film that I've actually seen. I heard the soundtrack, and I knew the other artists that were on the soundtrack, and this was an animated film, sci-fi animated film that was, oh gosh, when was this done? Maybe 70s, 80s. But the song really just kind of set my mind on this trajectory because the song itself is so spacey and so cool. And Donald Fagen's voice already puts it in a completely different feel. And, so when I saw this film called Heavy Metal, and I hear this song called True Companion, and I'm like going, this is a really cool song. I mean, I probably don't, looking at the cover of the art and everything, I'm like going, okay, I don't know if this would be a film I'd really be interested in, but this song may actually make me watch it. And it's one of those films that I still just need to just sit down and watch it because I don't even know if it's on streaming right now. But it really was that song that made me kind of go like, man, I love the chords. I love Donald's voice. And again, I love the sort of moody atmospheric space feel that he gives to a film that actually makes me want to watch it. So that'll be my number 5. It'll be True Companion by Donald Fagen. At first I thought it was Steely Dan, but I guess this was a solo number.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think Heavy Metal, isn't that like I think there's an animated movie, yeah?
Animated film, yeah.
I remember
right. The late 70s, 80s.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember that being like when I was in high school, I think that was like, or maybe middle school, that was out. And it was kind of hard for us to get that sort of stuff because I was in the middle of rural Pennsylvania. So we didn't really get a lot of things till like 2 years later. So. And
I think a lot of people at that time, it was a fairly graphic film, not only for violence, but also sexuality. So it was
Yeah. So, but that's cool. And it's funny that it was something that you were like, well, this kind of makes me want to watch the movie. So
it's true. I mean, it's just one of those things where like, oh, that feels like something I may want to just see how the song even fits in the film, right? Because you hear some songs on soundtracks, you're like, okay, is that actually in the movie, or is that a song just written about the movie, or what? So that's one thing I'll have to put on my list.
Yeah, that's a different thing. Like soundtracks, I initially proposed us talking about soundtracks, but that's just almost way too big, and I wanted to do something a little more niche. So,
Yeah.
But I'm glad you guys are on board with this other idea. Excuse me. All right. So my fifth is it. I almost didn't put it in because it's so recent, and it's from the movie Sinners. I don't know if either of you have seen Sinners. It's the song "I Lied to You" that the lead character Miles Caton actually sings himself, and it's part of the ancestor dance scene.
Yes.
And that I've seen that movie 3 times, and every time that scene just fucking gives me chills every time. And just the way it starts with him, and then it blends, and there's just that is such a beautiful start, and then it kind of goes, and you kind of hear the other songs wafting in and out while the "I Lied to You" is playing, and I can't get over how well that was done, and the fact that that guy is 20 years old and learned how to play a blues guitar and to sing just for the role. I'm like, and that guy sounds great. So it's like, yeah, I just there's a lot I could have chose. I told you guys I had to cut the long list, and I was like a little frustrated. I had too many, but I just couldn't not put it in there because of the scene itself and how that was. I felt that was really important to the movie and how Coogler filmed it. So, what do you guys think of that one?
I remember seeing when I first saw it, I said, "Oh, that's really cool." That whole sense of like bringing all those songs together and the connection to the past and the present. It was really cool how that was done. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a very mesmerizing scene in the movie. Yeah. I've only seen it once, but that's very memorable, that part of it. And I went to the theater to see it last time, so I need to watch it now here at home and with my sound bar to really. That's
okay.
Cool,
well, I'm glad that was good, a good choice. So,
absolutely.
So, how about number 4 for you, Tony? What's coming up after that? What you got next?
Man, number 4. So, I went back and forth between number 4 and number 3, and I'm going to number 4. And I'm gonna save number 3. I just switched them in my head. I originally had it flip flop. Now I just switched it. But a Netflix TV show with Aziz Ansari, Master of None, was a very, very, very good show, and I believe it went 3 seasons. With the last season cater more towards Lena White's character. I forgot her name on the show now, but I always loved that show. It was very well written, quirky, and serious at the same time. So you want music to match the moods. In season 1, at the end of, I think it was one of those early episodes. But the music was fantastic in all of them. I was introduced to a couple of different artists, like Father John Misty, artist Mac DeMarco, and then I remember Return of the Mac by Mark Markson was also in the same damn episode. But the very ending scene, when you see the last shot and the credits went rolling, it went to a song by a group called Beach House and a song called Master of None. And this song was actually sampled by The Weeknd on one of his early mixtapes. And it's a really, really, it seems like it's a dark song because this show has some dark times because it was about, I believe his name was Dev on the show. Aziz Ansari's character was in his love life, but in a quirky, unique way, because some of the episodes would just be about what he did that day. And then sometimes it would go back to a whole love, a love show about his dating life. But some of the lyrics in the song, "You Always Come to the Party," but it's very methodical, dark, but heavy. Mm-hmm. And I love the way that went off, because I remember watching it. This is back when I lived in Dallas, and I was like, I got to watch another episode. I have to see how this I got to see the next episode at this point. Just because of the way it went off, I had to go back and watch the next episode. So check out that song Beach House. Master of None by the group Beach House. Again, it's one of those. It's a song that it puts you in a mindset. That's how I can explain it. But it's a different little mindset, and I love the music on all the seasons, especially those first two. They were really uniquely picked for those certain scenes. Because in season 2, he started off, he was over in Paris. So you have a lot of French songs. And then, that also led me down a whole French DJ rabbit hole in itself, which that's what I love about it, guys. I love going down these music rabbit holes.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, check out the song Master of None by Beach House. You may recognize it because, again, it's been sampled in maybe a couple different songs, but I remember first hearing off one of the Weeknd's early mixtapes, back when the Weeknd used to only talk about drugs and sex, not dancing and whatever he does now. Yeah. So
see, now it's just dancing around.
Check it out. That's number Fizzor.
Dancing around drugs.
Yeah. I like dark back alley the Weeknd that's high on drugs. That's my weekend.
All right. Well, Jerry, what you got for number 4, sir?
See, I didn't get a full on list. I almost want to skip number 4 just so I can actually have a well, let me see. Let me take a look at my list. Goodness, did I get it? I almost want them to be more of a 3-2-1 because it would leave me one. We're like, there's nothing here. So tell you what, I want to see if I can pass that to you for your number 4, and
Okay.
we'll come back around for the 3.
Sounds good. So I have a lot of them. I settled on this one because it involves 2 of the best actors we have, and it was, I think this was in the early 90s. And you're not going to recognize the song name or the person. It's an opera song called La Mamma Morta by Umberto Giordano, and it is from the movie Philadelphia. And it is the scene where Tom Hanks, who's now in full-blown AIDS, and he's explaining to Denzel Washington just the way that, like, it's Italian blaring opera music, and he's just explaining with all these emotions how this opera is making him feel and what's happening in the text, and Denzel just looks like captivated. And it was such a really moving scene because it's Hanks looking super frail and Denzel looking super young and fine as he always does, and just it's such a moving scene. And it just kind of, I think that's a scene to me where Denzel finally really gets it about what he's doing to help Tom Hanks do, like why it matters. His line in that was, explain it to me like I'm 5 or something like that. I think that's where we kind of get that. And I think it's from that movie. And I just, like that song, I'd never heard that before because I'm not really an opera fan, but like there's just the swelling of the tempo as it goes up, and he's just, his voice is getting louder as he's explaining it, and it's just such a moving scene that I wanted to include it for that because I thought that was just a superb play off of each other.
That's beautiful. I haven't seen Philadelphia in years, but I remember that scene. I remember him trying to explain that because Denzel was going through his own little battles of trying to figure out what he was going to support this person who had full-blown AIDS and all kind of things like that. And so, yeah, that's a really, that makes me want to watch that film again.
Yeah,
just remembering that scene.
Yeah, you and young Antonio Banderas, very young Antonio Banderas is Tom Hanks' partner, which is like really interesting. But yeah. Good movie, really good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that's one of my favorite all-time movies. You just think of the mammoth power of Denzel and Tom Hanks in the same damn movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a forgotten movie from both of them with their whole movie discography or whatever. Philadelphia was a damn good movie, and I was young when that movie came out, and I loved it.
And topically, people try to almost wanted to forget it, but it was such a powerful film you couldn't forget that film.
Yeah,
I think people were, like, not trying to, they're kind of like, "Are you sure you want to do a film about AIDS and things like that?" So very, very good film.
Yeah, I'm like y'all. I may have to go find that and watch it again. It's been a very, very long time.
Just a warning: if you start watching that stuff now, you'll be much more apt to cry because
And you know what? I'm okay with that now. I'm like,
me
dude,
too.
yeah, if I shed a tear, please. I welcome it.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, let's shed it together. Number
Yeah,
3, I take it, guys.
yeah. Have
All right,
at
so
it, Tony.
I'm gonna cheat here, guys. Number 3 is actually 2 songs.
All right,
I have a
I'll allow
3A
it.
and a 3B. You allow it. Thank you, man. Thank you. So, your boy Cool Tony D. I love a TV show that tell me about your location. Tell me about where you're from. Tell me about where you live. For example, Martin took place in Detroit, Michigan. Sure, it was extremely elaborated because he had random people knocking on his door, people coming in and out of his window, angry man sitting at the unemployment office. I mean, just randomness, but it was still Detroit. In my mind, that's what Detroit is. I could be totally wrong, but good representation of it. Let's talk about a movie like The Water Boy. I don't know much about the state of Louisiana, but damn, is that a description of Louisiana? The extreme hardcore Cajun, you can barely understand what they're saying. I mean, they did it so good. I mean, well done, well done. Or we can go somewhere bigger, like a New York City, where you have a show like Sex and the City that really only takes place in Manhattan, where it is glitzy and glamour. But then you also have other television shows like a Master of None or any other. I can't think of
Law and Order. Law and Order.
Yeah,
That goes all over New York.
exactly. And then you have shows where actually just take place in certain boroughs of Queens or Brooklyn and stuff like that. Which, if you're ever there, they are totally different vibes from Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, the Bronx. Totally different from each other. Well, I always told my wife, if we ever leave Arkansas, where would I go? I'm going to go to a place where the mosquitoes are huge, Jerry, where you once lived, and that was Houston. I love hot ass Houston, Texas. And there is a TV show that took place down there that I just mentioned earlier called Mo. About the comedian Mo Amir. And it's really it's a TV show about his life. You know, they kind of skew a couple of areas, but it's the first TV show that I can remember that embodied the city of Houston, and it did it right. And we have TV shows like Dallas, who kind of over exaggerated Dallas with the big cowboy hats. I think they did okay. My favorite show that took place in DFW was Walker, Texas Ranger. That was my show. So, in a TV show like Mo, the very first episode, they're already dropping the Paul Wall, man, sitting sideways. And I'm like, yep, you got me. You got me. You got me. Paul Wall featuring Big Pokey sitting sideways. And he's literally in his car on the North Freeway going into downtown. And that to me, that is Houston. You're stuck in traffic on the North Freeway, going south, going to downtown, just jamming your Swisher House and Paul Wall. That's 3A. Let me do 3B real fast. Episode 2, you're starting off with a DJ DMD song featuring Fat Pat Little Kiki, 25 Lighters. You're giving it to me again. You're giving me these songs from Swisher House. You're giving me these songs from Screwed Up Click, and I'm loving every second of it. I am a deep Houston rap music historian. You have already hit me with these underground historical songs that fit the mood because I know Houston, I know the music, I know the vibe, I know the sound, I know what it feels like. You're right. That's it. That was it. And guys, I lied. I have 3 songs. At the end of episode 2, this is 3C, Mo is shown sitting in his car because he had a bad day and he doesn't know what to do. So what is he doing? He is sipping his purple drink. That is cough syrup and Sprite, codeine, whatever they call it.
Yeah,
and the song "Sipping Codeine" by DJ Screw and Big Mo comes on. It's dark. The scene is dark. He's sitting in his car under a tree. He's drinking. He's smoking, and that song comes on, and it's actually screwed a lot more than the original. And it's like, wow, he is in his zone. Because if you're ever in Houston, Houston being a big ass city that it is, there are a lot of places within the city that's really, really quiet. To me, it's a little eerie, but it fitted because he felt like he was all by himself, all alone. And sometimes you can feel that way in Houston. I don't know what it is. It's just what it is. I think the show took place in Alpine, which is going towards Missouri City, if I'm correct there. I don't know, Jerry. Forgot my directions. But yeah, all those scenes fit perfectly. And what's funny is we go back to 25 Lighters. It's a flashback to when he was a kid and he gets into like a little. He's leaving Kuwait or something, and he's I don't know. Anyway, it shows him as a kid putting on headphones, and then you hear "I Love It, Man," and then it just goes straight into the song. You're like, damn. God, that's the intro. Good Lord. It was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. That is my number 3, 3A, 3B, and I had 3C. That's number 3.
Yeah, but they were all on the same show, so
they're all the same show, and it was fitting because that right there, especially to do 3A, and then we find out 3B and 3C. That is what we call going taking the 610 loop to go down Westheimer. That's exactly
yes.
what we call it.
Absolutely.
Folks in Houston will definitely catch that one.
Yes. Before you go, Jerry, can I just ask? Houston's like a pretty sprawling city, right? Maybe it's quiet in part because it's fucking massive.
Well, yeah, but even closer to like my great grandmother lived in 3rd Ward, which is right outside of downtown. There were nights my cousin and I would sit on the porch and it's eerie quiet. And we're right around the corner from University of Houston, Texas Southern University. Sure. And, it's quiet. You can hear winos like stumbling down the street and stuff. And we're just, what am I doing outside in 3rd Ward at nighttime sitting on the porch? But that's what I did. And and I mean, of course, you'll hear sirens going off every now and then, but it was eerily still and quiet. Yeah, it's really, really beautiful, honestly.
Yeah.
And even with that big sprawling city, the sound of Screw music with DJ Screw and all that really became a regional hip hop phenomenon with all the Screw music and all the players out of there. So yeah, that was around the time I was in Houston too. I was in Houston between 98 and 04, and a lot of that was coming through. And I had never heard many of these artists, but I was like, by the time I left Houston, I knew them like that. You could just say it like, oh yeah, I know that song. Sure.
Yeah, super distinctive. So that's cool. Mm-hmm. I also didn't know Paul Wall was from Houston. I've not listened to much of him at all. Yeah. So I admit that in the past, like anything from like the past 15 years, I probably haven't done a good job of listening to it. So,
dude, it's a whole man. it could be several episodes of Modern Brews and Beats. Maybe I'll do it one day. I don't. It's a lot, man. And honestly, you can stick to one label and go down a list. Like I said, there's the SUC, there's Swisher House, there's the Boss Hog Outlaws. They're in the north side, man. And Color Changing Click was kind of a spinoff of Swisher House with Chamillionaire and Paul Wall. They were doing their own thing. And you got Freestyle Kings with DJ Bull up there. I see. I can just go down it, man. I love it. I love all of it, and that's not even talking about the Ghetto Boys who were even before all that. So and Scarface and Rap-A-Lot Records and geez Louise. Let me stop.
Yeah, I may or may not have put Ghetto Boys song in this list. I did not, but it was an honorable mention. So
I love it. All
right, Jerry, you're up, man. Sorry for the sidetracks there, but I was just curious.
No. If anything, this track is really kind of. It actually slides a little bit more into the whole soundtrack thing, only because although it wasn't the film, it was in the opening of the film. It was one of the few songs that did not fit the 50s, 60s sounds of the other songs in the film. And written by Robin Gibb himself, and at the time had more of a disco feel. This is Frankie Valli and the song Grease. I thought it was very interesting for them to sit there and take a contemporary sound for this song, and it's in the film, but it's like the very beginning, and then you go to the rest of it's all 50s, 60s stuff. And I thought, what a unique way to get current audiences interested in a song, or interested in a movie that was really more set in the 50s and 60s. So I just thought that was fascinating, that'd be one of those tracks that stands out, that was more contemporary than anything else. And it turned out to be a huge hit for Valli, who at the time wasn't with a label. So that's going to be number 3. Grease is the word, Frankie Valli.
I am very publicly anti the movie Grease and Grease 2. I hate both of those movies with unbridled passion.
Let me go ahead. I definitely never said I love the film. So, in fact, there's another film I'm going to mention that people usually will say, Jerry, that film is horrible. And I'm like, okay, so I can give you that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
moments.
What that song did, though, that the song, the way the song had its own life and everything like that. So that's why I found it interesting. Again, I found it interesting because it didn't really fit the multi. And there are people who were on the record label when they were doing that. They did not want that song in there because it was like, okay, this song doesn't fit the play. This doesn't fit. This was totally written separate. But you know what? Barry Gibb got a hit. Frankie Valli got a hit. I'm not mad. So.
Man, the Gibbs were writing machines back then, though. So it was
true.
Yeah,
it's true.
So, and Bee Gees, man, don't get enough credit these days.
Seen but Frankie Valli recently?
Maybe not.
Oh yeah, he's a corpse that they troll out on stage and he can't sing. I feel bad for that guy.
He is rough, I feel so bad. Like, why are y'all still putting him out there? It's bad, man. It's bad.
Well, have you ever seen, before I go into my number 3, there's a bunch of videos that I see now on TikTok where it's like showing old rockers like David Lee Roth and Vince Neil, and you're just like, guys, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I know you got to make some money, but whoo, baby, you guys are, not it.
It's crazy. I think that's a whole show, especially if someone like could give us the breakdown on like the loss of royalties, different things happening with people's discographies and their songs, and why they're not getting the money, especially during the streaming age. Come on, hardly anybody's making any real money unless you're like a big mega artist in the streaming age, because it's just not giving the same kind of dollars. No. So touring is like the only thing you got. But you're right. You see people just like barely hanging on up there. I'm like, wow, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's rough. It's a rough watch.
It is.
Yeah. All right. So number 3, I'm going to go with a funny one. So this is one of my wife's favorite funny movies. It's from the movie Shaun of the Dead. We love anything with Nick Frost and what's the guy's name? Why am I forgetting his name? He's in Mission Impossible. Why am I? Simon Pegg.
There you go. That's what I'm going. I'm thinking like Pegg, Simon. But
yeah. That guy. So there is a scene in there where they're playing the song "Don't Stop Me Now" by Queen, where he's just starting to beat up the zombies. It's the goofiest thing. He's like, having a good time, and he just beats the crap out of these zombies. And it is such a perfect song to be playing because it's like this happy, upbeat song, and he's like beating zombies.
I mean, somebody.
Oh man, yes. I was talking to my wife about this whole subject about what I was going to pick, and I said, "Oh, what about Don't Stop Me Now by Queen?" And then she goes, "And Shaun of the Dead." Yes, that one. So she didn't even need to tell me to say what movie it was. Like, that movie is fucking hilarious. It's never fails to be funny. That movie's 20-something years old. I could watch it now and laugh my ass off the whole time. So that particular scene, again, it's a perfect song choice for what it is. It doesn't like advance the story at all, but it's just like that. Also, and again, it's just a song makes me laugh with him doing what he's doing in the middle of it. So, yeah, that's number 3 for me, there, guys.
Beautiful.
All right, so we got 2 A, B, C, and D.
Yeah, where we going?
There's only one.
Go 4 of them. Okay.
There's only one for number 2, and
I'm disappointed.
Yeah, but number 3, and I really could have switched them, honestly, because Mo was a damn good show. But I got to give number 2 to a show that many people don't like. They can't get into it. I don't think they take him serious because I'm not a big fan of this person's movies. But Dwayne Johnson, a.k.a. The Great One, a.k.a. The Final Boss, a.k.a. The Rock, did a TV show called Ballers that was actually really good. Speaking of Denzel Washington, his son was in this show, and it's about a show of sports agents, an ex-sports athlete trying to help out other athletes save their money because it's something that he didn't do. So I like the show. It took place in Miami. It didn't really highlight because Miami's really a big, huge international city. So tons of different kinds of music playing in all the different episodes, depending on where they were at or who they were with. But speaking of British artists, you mentioned Simon Pegg. There was a scene in Ballers where Spencer, which is The Rock's character, was driving down a road, and this song came on by an artist called Rationale, and the song is called Fast Lane. It fit perfectly. The song starts off totally different than when the beat drops. You're like, that's a groove right there. And it was a wide shot, so you see his car going down the road, and you see tons of water on both sides. It's really, really pretty. He's in his mind because he's about to have this important conversation to where he's going. And this song comes on, and you hear this. It's hard for me to describe the voice, but it's very unique in a way that you don't picture whenever you see the person, Rational, the voice. There's another artist I listen to, a Canadian artist. He goes by
Snow?
No, not Snow. More. I think it's More.
Sorry.
More. He's a Black Canadian artist who you hear his voice, but you see him like that comes from you. You're like, wow. That's the same way I feel about Rational. And the song Fastlane is a dope song. I have it on a few playlists. I think I even have it in the phone somewhere too, Jerry. Check out that song. It's a really, really dope song. I love the way it starts off. I love when the beat drops. You don't know whether to tap your foot or to think something deep, like the scene was going into. So check that out. That's number 2. There's only one number 2, guys. Only one number 2. And that's Rational.
Number 2.
Fastlane. Yep.
One number 2 is generally a good idea.
Yes. Every morning after your cup of coffee. Yes.
Or 1 or 2 coffees,
or 1 or 2.
Get your morning.
Get it out. Get it out.
You should
get it out.
Man. We're easily distracted, and that's what makes it fun. So. All right, Jerry, what's up on your number 2 there? You said you got something that a lot of people are fans of, so I'm really curious.
Because this actually, there are a lot of people who've compared this film to a number 2. But seriously, it was a soundtrack that really saved the film. Although I remember the scene in which I saw this, only because it was. So you're coming from the 70s into the 80s. You have different electronic sounds, and this film kind of played with a lot of different styles, even had some songs from older periods. But it was all about just inspiring this writer who was down on his luck and he wasn't really doing well with his art. And so they started talking about this particular poem, and they mention this place and this particular abandoned building. Of course, at the time, roller skating was hot, but the whole abandoned building just becomes this big experience for someplace special. And I remember when I saw the end of the film and actually heard the title track for Xanadu, that I was like, "Going, this is really cool." I mean, because again, here I am. God, when this film dropped, I was maybe 8. So here I was like, just looking at the whole storyline, and ELO just like took my mind some other places in this film. And then when they got together with Olivia Newton-John for this song, I said, this is really fun. No, again, the movie, I can go back and look at it now and see, okay, there's some stuff that's just like, okay, this really doesn't work. But that song is fun, and it just reminds me of a fun time. And when everybody coming together and the muses who had just come alive earlier in the film are now about to return to their celestial place. When you see Kira, I believe that's her name in the film, rise, it's just like, wow. And you're left with Danny. He's just kind of rolling around the floor. You can see, okay, that's it. I have the inspiration, but that person is gone now. And kind of in something that we would see later in what was that film? Nicolas Cage was an angel and he wanted to become human.
City of Angels.
Okay, so similarly, she came back as one of the like roller skating ladies taking an order, and she got to his face, and so it's like her giving up her place in that celestial realm to be with him. And so I've always liked that song for that. And so that's Xanadu, ELO and Olivia Newton-John.
For some reason, I always thought that song was ABBA. But like I said, for some reason, I haven't seen that movie or heard that song in decades, so That's probably why. ELO is a freaking great band, man. They are, like, to me, they're underrated. Like, I just really love a lot of their shit. So that's a super good choice. I wouldn't have picked. Again, this is the thing. It's like, it's funny what sticks with you. Like, oh, that sticks with me, and that sticks with me for this reason. And it's not the same reason for anybody. Some people doesn't stick with it all, but that's the subjectivity of music and movies and TV and all that stuff. So, which is why this is fun, for me at least.
Yeah.
So, all right, number 2, I'm going to go very atmospheric. And there's certain songs that get played in movies that absolutely set the atmosphere, what is happening in that scene, even as just the first notes start coming in. And I'm an 80s kid by damn near every metric. I am surprised that I haven't put an 80s movie in here, although there's a few others that were like that I had thought of to put in. I am going to go with Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins for Top Gun. When that freaking guitar riff just starts coming in and you're like, yeah, then it's planes are like flying all over. It's like, there's just something that with the planes flying and the guitar riffs and him singing, Danger Zone and all that shit. And you're just like, I don't know. That stuff just makes your pulse go up and you feel like you're just like ready to run through a wall. Like, that's how I felt.
It's very, I mean, the hyper masculinity of that song is very the rip and the run and just like giving high fives to each other. It's perfect. I was like, he did a great job on that.
Yeah, and the homoeroticism of that movie is not to be under talked about.
And that.
Yeah, the guys that are shirtless playing volleyball in jeans. Who the fuck played volleyball in jeans on the beach?
On the beach, like, oh, man.
Yeah, I want sand in my jeans as I dive for the ball. That's super comfortable.
Well, I tell you what, now I'm really ready. Like, what? For what? Shower? Oh my God.
Yeah, there's, like I said, that thing just, like, as soon as you hear that, the guitars leading in and you're just like, all right, we're going. I don't know where we're going, but we're going. And then you'll see the planes start flying and doing all that shit. And I mean, there's plenty of songs in the Top Gun movie that actually really fit well. They really scored, like, really put songs in that were really great. So yeah, that one just that feels like one of those ones that I don't know how you sort of top that for what it was trying to do.
Sure.
Like, like for that moment, for what it was doing in that movie, I don't think you could have picked a better song than that. So
I agree, it was perfect for that. Sure, perfect for that film.
Yeah,
and a great turn and trajectory for Kenny Loggins. He was.
Yeah.
A lot of people put him in the smooth and soft rock, and he just said, "Oh no, I got you. I'm still here."
Speaking of soft rock and Kenny Loggins, a side note: did you? I didn't know this until recently, and you guys probably knew it because you're music heads, and I'm not quite as into it as much as you are. But I didn't realize that Kenny Loggins and Michael McDonald both wrote I Keep Forgetting, and Kenny Loggins recorded first on his album and released it, and it didn't do that great. And then Michael McDonald released it, and it became that song. Like sometimes you listen to all the weird shit that happened in the 70s because everybody was stoned out of their mind. So like they just did all kinds of weird shit, and just like, my word, like what was going on? Like, oh, we're going to record the song. I'll record it in mine and put it in my album. You do it for you. And I'm like, what? Like,
yeah.
I don't know that. Did you guys know that? I learned that like within the past year.
Same. I mean, because it was through the Yacht Rock special that I learned about it. Because I don't think I knew that he had recorded a version before him. Mm-hmm. And but it was fun going down that hole. Like, listen, let me hear how his version sounded. Like, what did he do? So.
Yeah. Was it not that version where I don't know, I saw an interview and I think it was from McDonald where he was like, oh yeah, I said I was going to meet Kenny, was coming over to my apartment. My girlfriend was panicking because my house was a fucking wreck. Like it was just messy and food all over the place. Like, oh, okay, well, okay. So anyway, that's side note there.
Nice to know he was a regular guy just like the rest of us. He put his
yeah, you're just a regular dude, just right. And whatever. You're a musician, just making bucks and getting high and drinking and whatever. Yeah. All right, Tony, time for the drum roll.
Well, I can't believe we're at number one already. It's been a fun list. I'm glad I had the opportunity to come on this show to do it with you, Doug. So thank you for inviting me.
Yep, glad you're here.
I do have an honorable mention. I do actually have one movie one, but I don't want to say it because I've done all TV shows. So
Dude, there's no rules here.
I know, but I think maybe one of y'all may have that number one movie. I don't know yet. So I'm going to stick to my original plans doing all TV shows.
We'll do honorable mentions after number ones. How about that?
I will. Man, this one here, guys, man. So there are 3 television shows that I've seen. I've counted this before 8,757 gazillion times that I can watch over and over again and still get the same initial laugh as I did the original time. One show is Martin that I mentioned earlier in this show tonight. 2 is Friends, believe it or not. I love me some damn Ross Geller. That guy, him and some Chandler.
I have thoughts of Ross.
I am a Ross Geller fan. I love me some Chandler Bing. I love me some Joey Tribbiani. That damn Ross Geller. God damn it. That dude has me rolling. I love Friends. Love it, love it, love it. My other favorite show, which guys, I can't tell you how much I love this show. I actually have a poster of it right here in front of me, and that's the TV show Entourage. Entourage, to me, is one of the greatest TV shows ever made. It was so damn stupid because of Johnny Drama, Turtle, E, and Vince, and Ari. Ari stole the show. Him and his assistant. Oh God, I can't even think of the name right now. But anyway, dude, the music from this show changed me. It made me a better DJ. I'm listening to songs that I never would have heard on my local radio station back then. I definitely didn't have satellite back then. I believe satellite radio was around, but I couldn't even afford it back then. Everything I heard in the show from the very first episode of season 1 to the end of season 10 or 8, however many they went, even the horrible movie that they made. I love Entourage, and there was a scene, I don't remember what season which episode, but there's a song called Lady Don't Take No by Laterax. And it is a rap song by this underground artist. I found his stuff on Spotify. It's okay. But this one song in this one scene, I see it in my head. Him and E are driving down the road in their convertible because it's Entourage. Why not? Vince is a movie star, and of course they're in a convertible. It's dark. E is the manager, and they're coming up with this decision about this movie. And Vince is like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's don't do it or something. They say in that realm. And you hear this beat just come in, and all of a sudden, Vince says his line, and they look at each other and say, fuck it, and they drive off. And all you see is them driving off on the road, and then this song just drops. And I was like, wow. That's how you score a damn TV show. These damn Mark Wahlberg HBO shows, y'all got it going on. And that song, I got it in the phone, Jerry. It's been in the last probably 5 phones at this point. I downloaded it on MP3 years ago, and this is before the days of Shazam, so I don't know how the hell I found it. I had to go dig.
You a deep dive, baby.
And what was the song on tonight's episode of Entourage? The last scene, and then you can't find it for like 2 months later. But yes, I love that song. It is a part of many playlists, many set lists that I'm DJing as well. I think he's a decent rapper. I don't know where he's from, but he is a hip hop head, and it's really underground hip hop as well. I don't even know the other artist that's featured on the song with him, but I love this song. This song it's perfect to me. It is really, really good. Whoever decided to place it right there at the end of that scene on that shot, kudos to whoever that was. That's my number one, because I always listen to this song often, and I always go back to that scene in my head, seeing E and Vince driving off with that song dropping. That's my number one, Lady Don't Take.
Nice.
Yes.
I think I'm going to have to get a list from both of you guys for songs. Because that way I can kind of give them more of a listen, like Tony, especially your stuff. It's way more stuff that I haven't heard. So I definitely want to hear, like some of Jerry's I've heard, but I want to explore that.
I'm deep in this game, brother. I'm deep in it.
That you are. So Jerry, your turn. Number one, my friend.
Number one belongs to an artist who, when I heard the full work later, I still couldn't get the film that it was associated with out of my head. And they only used like pieces of part one of this song in the film. But it's still so moody, so atmospheric, so icy that it just brings a chill, even when you see like I'm forgetting her name, her character, when you see her walk and you hear bits of that sound in the background, you're like going, man, that was such a perfect piece. And it was not even originally made for the film. The director of the film, William Friedkin, was in someone's office and happened to hear them playing Tubular Bells and was like, okay, I want to use that in the film. I think that has a way to set the atmosphere up. And so it's, again, has its own life outside of The Exorcist, but Tubular Bells and the way that the sound of it is just something that brings that film right back. And that's going to be my number one.
Man, I couldn't agree with you more about that. That's a great one. I didn't even think of that, but man, that song does perfectly fit in that moment. So excellent job as always. So, all right, mine for number one is a little run of the mill, but I think because of the scene itself, I can't hear this song and not think of this scene. They are intimately tied together. I don't think you can. If you've ever seen this movie, and then heard the song, you'd be like, oh, it's from this scene. And it is Caught in the Middle with You by Steelers Wheel, and it's in Reservoir Dogs. For R.I.P. Michael Madsen is singing into a severed ear. That song it's ubiquitous with the fucking movie. Like, I can't unentangle them, like, you know what I mean, in my head.
Wow.
I guess the rumor for that is that Tarantino blew most of his budget for that movie on that song to get the rights to it. Like, he's like, I don't care about a lot of the other stuff, that I have to have that song for this scene. And Tarantino's known for scoring movies really well. So the idea that he knew I need to use that song for that scene. And that scene, Michael Madsen wasn't supposed to sing into the ear. He just picked it up and started singing into it. And Tarantino was like, perfect. We're not shooting that again. So
don't you love how that goes? How it wasn't even planned like that, and it's just perfect. We couldn't have done that better if we'd have practiced it. That was great.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that was just. I just think like I said, because those things are linked so hard in my brain, I don't think that I could not pick that number one. So all right, well, we got a few minutes yet before we got to jet out. Do you have any honorable mentions? Tony, I know you do. I have several, but I'm not going to list them all because we'll be here for another 20 minutes. So go ahead, Tony.
I do have one. I do have one honorable mention, and this actually comes from a large movie franchise, and I'm not a fan of all the films, but I think the first one was done beautifully. And the first one is one of my all-time favorite films because it's more than just a boxing movie, and that's Rocky and Eye of the Tiger. When I see Rocky jogging and that damn music comes on, you can't help but stand up.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, I'm like, dude, I'm in it. I'm with you. Let's go. Let's do it. Eye of the Tiger by, I believe it's Survivor. I think that's the name of the group.
That's correct.
Dude, I love the first Rocky. The first Rocky is a beautiful movie. And to me, it's more than just a boxing movie. I know it became a franchise where it became about, boxing and this mythical superhero and Rocky. But nah, man, that first one's perfect. It's quiet. The dude can barely talk English.
It's true. Still can.
Adrian is weird, but hot at the same time. I don't know. It's just me.
Yeah.
That damn turtle she got. I don't know, man. It's a really unique film, man. Kudos to Sylvester Stallone for pushing to get that thing made. Fantastic movie. Again, every time I see it, it's like Die Hard. If I see it on, I'm watching it.
Mm.
Eye of the Tiger by Survivor. That was my honorable mention. That was my one movie that song right there. That's it. So that's my one honorable mention I have.
That's an excellent one, though. So, Jerry, do you have any extra ones, or you good?
I mean, the only thing that could come to my mind is the reuse of a song that I was not expecting to come in a movie, but really fit the mood. And I'm forgetting, unfortunately, the guy who redid it for this film. It was towards the end, once the rocket supposedly came down on Donnie Darko, when they did Mad World in that film.
Gary Jules.
Gary
Jules is the guy.
So I was like, I'm forgetting his name, but I was not expecting that song right there. But I was like, why did that fit? Why did that fit in a way that I wasn't really expecting? It made me kind of go back to that whole album again, hearing Gary Jules' version, but also revisiting the Tears for Fears album.
Yeah, I saw Tears for Fears in concert, and they did that live, and my wife didn't know the Tears for Fears version, and she was like, wait, they did that first? I'm like, oh yeah, they did that a long time ago. So yeah, that's a great reimagining of that song. So good choice there. So
Tears of Fears, they did Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite songs of all time, by the way.
Yeah, that was such a great.
I saw beautifully placed in the New York, the '86 Mets 30 for 30 documentary. They played it. They played it perfectly. That was a 4-part documentary. They played that song in there, and it fit. It was perfect. Oh, it was so well done. Those 30 for 30s, those were some really good.
They were superbly produced stuff.
Yes,
so.
yes.
All right, I'm going to rapid fire through a few of these so that we can conserve on time here. First one was "Damn It Feels Good to Be a Gangster" by the Ghetto Boys at the beginning of Office Space, where where Michael Bolton is like jamming, and then he has to roll down the window and turns the music down. That just kills me every time, just because he's like the super hardcore rapping. It's like, I don't know. "Oh Yeah" by Yellow and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I don't really need to describe that because that's, that song's great. But yeah. "A Man of Constant Sorrow," which was originally done by Dick Burnett, which is in the "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?"
Yes.
Soggy Bottom Boys. All right. "Dragula" by Rob Zombie in The Matrix, when Neo meets Trinity. That's playing in the background, and Rob Zombie wasn't really super well known at all yet, and I was just like, what the fuck is that song? And just like, it was just great for the sort of industrial feel of that. The other two I'm going to have are a little deeper cuts. One is something called "Where's My Mind" by the Pixies, which was played at the very end of Fight Club when all the shit's falling down. And the narrator's talking to Marla. He's like, "You met me at a very strange time of my life." And then the song comes on and all the buildings are collapsing. Just super great placement just because of the way the song sounds. And the last one is going to be "Sister Christian" by Night Ranger. It is in the movie Boogie Nights, where they're throwing the firecrackers in the building. And
wow.
I swear to God, I'd laugh my ass off during that movie, and everybody looked at me like I was insane. I was in the theater laughing at that movie.
It was funny.
That movie is fucking hilarious, but but there's some really serious parts, and the problem is that one where they're like, those guys are terrified because they're going to die, and they're just one little dude just throwing firecrackers around while the song is playing in the background. It doesn't do anything for the movie except that this guy just throwing firecrackers around. I don't know. It's fucking dumb.
Man,
I do have one TV one. One TV one to give to Tony. There's a song called "Exit Music for a Film," and it's by Radiohead.
Mm-hmm.
And there's an episode of the show Black Mirror, which I absolutely love the show Black Mirror. It's a super dark, creepy show at some points, some are very uplifting. But one of my favorite episodes is something called "Shut Up and Dance." And at the end, this kid is walking out of this thing, and his life is completely trashed after this. And he walks out, and that song plays, and it's just him knowing his life is done and the cops are going to shoot him. And that's a song that plays, and that's where it fades out, and you don't get to see him get shot or nothing.
Wow.
And there's just a way they play that, and it's only a few seconds of it, and just, wow, that one's superb. So anyway, I think we could talk about this kind of shit a lot longer if we had. But guys, I really want to thank you for popping on and talking. Needle drops is what I think the term is, like needle drops in movies and TV shows. So really good list by both of you. I'm hoping you guys will shoot me over your list of songs so I can kind of make sure I take a listen to them. So
thank you for the invite. Absolutely.
Yeah. And everybody check out Modern Brews and Beats podcast. Get them wherever you get podcasts. And Tony and Jerry, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
Greatly appreciate it.
Yeah. Cheers, everybody. Take care.